I think DK could finish top 10 easily with just the touchdown production.
And go.
What's up, Fackers? We are back with our Fantasy and Chill 101, counting down the top 101 fantasy football players for the 2020 season. Number 60 on the countdown is wide receiver for the Seattle Seahawks, DK Metcalf. He is our 25th ranked wide receiver. Last year, he finished his rookie year as wide receiver number 31. He had 58 catches for 900 yards and 7 touchdowns on 100 targets. Scored 163.1 fantasy points, an average of 10.2 points per game. All right, so a few things about DK Metcalf real quick. He led the NFL last year in end zone targets. Okay, so 19 of his 100 targets were in the end zone. So almost a fifth of his total targets, he's getting a chance to catch a touchdown. I'm pretty sure he led the NFL by a pretty decent margin too, like 3 or 4, which is a lot when it's just that few. So 19 end zone targets last year. As a rookie, he still played 83% of the snaps, and he had 30% of Seattle's total air yards. Okay, so he was a huge uh, just cog in that passing game last year as a rookie. Even still, he is a major breakout candidate this year.
Yes.
Okay,
Hmm.
going from that rookie year, we see the big step from rookie year to second year wide receiver. He already had a big rookie year. Is he going to emerge as Russell Wilson's top target over Tyler Lockett and just maybe post a monster season with double digit touchdowns?
Yeah, and where you can get him a little bit later, if you did go running back, maybe even third running back, like DK Metcalf has the wide receiver one upside for where you can get him. And I mean, he's playing with Russell Wilson, so and the dude's 6'3", 230, like he's huge. Like Ryan just said, 19 end zone targets. Like he's gonna get touchdowns.
Sounds like both y'all are high on him then. Gonna
Yeah, I'm pretty high on it. I think Britt nailed it when he said that this is a guy you can get not late, obviously, but we're talking fifth or sixth round probably, and he'll be hard out.
Maybe
I
earlier than that.
yeah.
His ADP right now is 37,
Okay,
so
maybe it's right. So we're
that's a
talking
little
into
high.
fourth, be early. Maybe he'll slide early fifth, but even still, you're drafting him as your wide receiver too. And I agree with you that he has the potential to be a wide receiver one next year.
Okay, who would you rather have, DK or Devontae Parker?
Devontae.
Devontae.
I have Devontae Parker ranked higher, but I mean, it wouldn't shock me if DK finished better.
Okay, DK or Keenan Allen with Tyrod Taylor throwing to him. Or didn't they draft
And Allen,
who'd they draft? That Oregon quarterback? Herbert?
Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
You'd
not.
ever rather have Keenan Allen?
I have Keenan Allen higher in the rankings, but just one spot, like they're right next to each other.
Okay.
So
D-
it's pretty
DK's
much toss up.
DK's ADP is 54 and a half point. That was standard ADP.
Oh, okay, my bad.
So it's a little later, which is good, I guess, if you actually want to draft DK. But it's still around the same guys you just mentioned. I'm seeing like Robert Woods, which I don't know. I think I might rather have Robert Woods than DK.
Robert Woods? Yeah, me too. And then, I mean, he low key had a 900-yard season last year, 7 touchdowns. He played in all
Okay.
16 games. So, no, I'm just saying, like, if I said top wide receivers from last year, you wouldn't say DK Metcalf almost had 1,000 yards. Like, I don't know.
No, it is surprising. The issue, though, I see is Seattle is a run first team. They don't throw the ball much at all. And
Yeah,
Tyler Lockett was the number one wide receiver on that team last year.
they don't.
Okay.
It's not
To
the
that, I
Legion
would
of Boom
say
though. They don't have that
they are
defense.
I know what you're going to say,
they are a run first
I
team.
think.
They are a run first team, but he's not a guy that has to catch 8 balls to be productive. He's the big play guy. He only had
Yeah,
50 catches. All right, that's not a lot of
Yeah.
catches to be able to produce 900 yards and 7 touchdowns. The main thing with him is the big play and the touchdowns, end zone targets.
Yeah.
I would be
Uh,
again.
I'm on the fence
But
with him,
being a
though.
run first team doesn't really affect him because he can be productive with 4 catches if it's 4 catches for 100 yards and a touchdown.
yeah. He only had
Yeah.
double-digit targets twice.
I brought that up, but yeah, he's also playing with the most efficient passing quarterback in the
Yes,
league. I just,
that's what draws me. Russell Wilson.
yeah, I don't know if I can draft him this high. I feel like every, article I read, the comments are just, oh, everyone's trying to take him high, like higher and higher, and I feel like his ADP is just going to keep shooting up to a point where I don't want to take him.
True.
Definitely one of the hot names for the offseason.
He's
But Russell Wilson has shown he can support wide receivers. Like Doug Baldwin was a top fantasy wideout. Tyler Lockett has emerged. Like Russell Wilson could. I mean, yeah, like you're saying, he's very accurate, and I mean, he's going to put the ball in the money, especially if you're in the end zone with DK.
well, the Lockett's already been proven in the offense. I guess you can say Metcalf
Yes.
has in a way, but it's only been 1 year. But Lockett's only going 5 spots ahead of Metcalf. Like, who would you rather have there, Lockett or Metcalf?
Well, Lockett, but just because generally most people play half PPR, and he's going to be this, he's going to have the safer floor, but DK is going to have the higher upside. Like I think DK could finish top 10 easily with just the touchdown production.
Yeah, that's what I wrote. I wrote down he could have a high ceiling. It's just some of these, like T.Y. Hilton's going around him. T.Y.'s undisputed number one in Indianapolis. You take T.Y. over DK? He's going 1 spot ahead of
I think
DK right
Ty
now.
is very similar. Ty Hilton is basically a clone of Tyler Lockett. They're almost the same guy.
I feel like Ty is more of a deep threat.
Lockett's pretty.
Tyler or Lockett is, but I feel like he's more the intermediate stuff too. But I'd probably lean T.Y. Hilton there just because he's going to be the only option in Indianapolis with Philip Rivers slinging it around.
I think this
I
is
think
similar.
the
I think this is similar to we kind of talked about Carry On and DeAndre Swift. How DeAndre Swift's going higher than Carry On. Metcalf is a relatively new receiver, 2nd year,
True.
and you
True.
kind of get that unknown still, so people are drafting him higher than you should be. Like they see Metcalf. It's kind of like Josh Gordon. Like Josh Gordon never pans out, but everyone
Yes, he
sees
had that
Josh
1
Gordon
year.
name, and they're like, oh,
Yes.
and he keeps going higher and higher in drafts. I think that's what we're getting with Metcalf right now.
Yeah. It's
I
like when
think
he's out with the
what Britt was talking
Patriots.
about with DK is that yeah, you might have Lockett and Hilton ranked higher, and yeah, if Lockett and Hilton are there in the 6th round, you're taking them instead of DK. But
Yeah.
they'll probably, as if you get DK in that 6th round, he does have the. But I agree with Britt that I really would not be that shocked if he finished top 10.
No.
So did we have a bet the other year? Was that between Baldwin and Lockett? Wasn't that
It
a
was
bet?
Michael and Turpin
Probably.
that the Baldwin and Lockett bet.
So is anyone willing to make a bet with Lockett and DK?
Well, I've been trying to get you all to make a bet with each other for weeks now. Y'all don't do it.
I don't like DK.
I mean, it sounds like Britt's on the DK and you're on the Lockett.
Britt
So
said he would take Lockett though, but I mean, I'll take Lockett.
I mean, yeah, in a draft situation, I'd probably take Lockett.
Yeah.
Give me some give me a spread here.
You want no? It's gotta be straight up. You know, we ain't. This ain't Vegas, okay?
Okay, straight up, what's the spread?
we'll give you 5 points.
maybe next video we'll make a bet. I don't know who we're doing. We could have made a bet on Carry On, but by the way, welcome back, Britt, to the videos. He was moving
Yeah.
on last week.
New homeowner. Congratulations, Britt.
Been a long week.
That's why his room sounds so echoey right now.
Yeah, sorry about
So
that.
I don't want to hear the comments below why the audio is bad, okay, people? It's not. It's temporary. Yeah.
Mine's not, but
Ryan's
I
has
mean,
been
I'll
permanent so far.
fix him. That's true.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I'm on the fence with DK. I don't know. I don't know if y'all sway me enough to make me draft him, but I could definitely see the high potential there.
he's
Yeah.
when I was doing these rankings, I had him lower at first and I moved him up to 25 where I have him now. I wanted to even put him higher, but I've talked about this almost every video we do with wide receivers. The wide receiver talent, basically from DK to number 1, it's ridiculous, the names and the guys that
Yes.
are there.
Yeah.
Like everybody between DK Metcalf and Michael Thomas, who's the clear-cut number 1, would not be surprised if any of these guys finish top 10 the rest of the way. I
Well,
think they
like
all.
on Fantasy Pros, they have DK ahead of Stephon Diggs, AJ Green, Jarvis Landry. Like those are pretty stable names. I mean, AJ Green's a little iffy just because his injury history, and Diggs is in Buffalo, but those guys have been proven before.
Yeah.
I know they have like their highest and lowest ranking on there. What's the highest DK is rated?
The highest DK is rated is 13, wide receiver 13, and then his lowest is wide receiver 41. Someone has Terry McLaurin at wide receiver 4. I don't know what they're smoking, but I want
Was that a
some.
typo? Did they forget the zero after that?
No, that is for real.
I'm
He is
surprised
the
DK at 13. That's his highest because I could see him, potentially
I
hitting
thought
like
someone
number
was gonna have him
9.
top 10.
Yeah.
in Dynasty, he's wide receiver 10. In redraft leagues, he's wide receiver 13. That's how I say him.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then I mean, yeah, Terry McLaurin 4. What the fuck is going on there?
It just scares me a little bit that they don't pass very much, and you're getting these tight ends back that weren't healthy last year, like Disley and
Hey,
Greg
someone has
Olson.
someone has Juju finishing 2, wide receiver 2.
That could be
Let me
me.
just say this real quick before I wrap it up. Just kind of thinking about these rankings and where they'll finish. DK Metcalf maybe is this year's Chris Godwin. Getting drafted at about the same spot Godwin went last year. He could finish where
I
I
I
mean,
don't see
Godwin
that.
was wide receiver 2, wasn't he?
he was wide receiver too. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, but
They
Britt, if rewind 1 year to this exact moment, if we're doing this show and I say, "Oh, Chris Godwin, he's my wide receiver 25," but you know what? I got him as a top 5 wide receiver. You would have made that same face.
I just, I think the
Seattle
stars
doesn't throw the
aligned
ball
for
enough.
Godwin. Yeah, exactly. See, like Jameis was throwing it to the other team as much as he was to his own team, so like they just had to sling it to stay in any game, and I don't know. I feel like that was a different situation.
I was just thinking he's a 6th round wide receiver,
Yeah,
could make the jump.
he could.
You will see Seattle some games this year throw it about less than 25 times a game.
Yeah, I mean, just think. Oh, I mean, they do play Arizona twice, and they play the Rams twice, and then 49ers twice. I mean,
I don't want to do it right now,
40.
but I could have sworn last year when Seattle played Arizona that those were a couple of the games that he didn't throw
Yeah,
for that much because they just ran on him the entire time. But I could be wrong on that. But why don't you finish it off, Ryan?
Yeah, we kind of need to wrap this up. We've been going on about DK for a while, but obviously you listen to us. Me and Britt are pretty high on him. I think we're talking Matt into it. But DK Metcalf is our 25th wide receiver, number 60 overall.
Yeah.